What's happening? Yeah, right here, man. I see this is this this terminology here. I really love this term. You know what I'm saying? It's called political schizophrenia. You may be suffering from political schizophrenia if you believe that there's possible martial law coming. You might be a political schizophrenia. Uh, if you believe that Jade Helm, there's something nefarious behind this martial law maneuvering, well, you might have political schizophrenia. Well, if you see past the left-right Democrat, Republican, cops and robbers paradigm, uh, you might be political schizophrenic. If you believe in anything besides atheism, nihilism, socialism, totalitarianism, technocraticrism, oligarchism, feudalism, slavery, you might be a political schizophrenic. If you believe that there's a corporatist takeover of this country and they're running this country down in the dirt and crashing the economy on purpose, you might be a political schizophrenic. If you believe that they gang stalk people and beam them with rays and like assassinate people like Martin Luther King and Kennedy and Bob Marley and others, you might be a political schizophrenic. You know, if you believe in the Bible, you're most certainly political schizophrenic. You're just schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there really is such a thing, but if you think that they're putting cancer cells in, they created AIDS in a laboratory, if they're putting cancer cells and autism and vaccinations, you may be political schizophrenic. Uh, if you don't trust, the government to put a microchip in you, with a cyanide kill switch in it. There was people in I rumor someone overheard people talking about putting microchips in people with a kill switch at the University of Michigan, Flint. So, those must have been a bunch of political schizophrenics, man. Huddled about the halls there. You know what I'm saying? If you think that that the government does false flags like 9/11, like Tim Osman, Osama, uh, uh, or Sandy hoax and the Serco stand down order. Drill, is this a drill? Is this a drill? Uh, the Serco stand down and the Boston bombing. The survivors of Sandy Hook were at the Boston bombing, and what are the chances that these same people would get bombastic twice? It's just impossible. It just doesn't happen like that. Everyone's throwing up the Baphomet in all the photos of Sandy hoax and other drills. You know what I'm saying? There was just a church shooting, 8 people killed. I mean, I don't know if this one's real or not. It seems like after, you just keep all these false flags actually encourage people to go out and do real crime, because some people can't distinguish the difference between a false flag. No, it's not TV. Some people can't distinguish between a false flag and a real attack, and some people get encouraged, like, yeah, look, the purge is starting, so they go out and do something stupid because there's a bunch of manufactured narratives. Like the James Holmes shooter, his family's all tied up in mind control. He was in college for mind control for like a defense department contractor company. You know what I'm saying? And his father's connected to finance. And when it's just the red flags just keep on piling up. It's like if you think that maybe the moon landing might have been hoaxed, well, you might be a political schizophrenic. If you think that there's a Marxist, communist, socialist, fascist shift takeover in the Fourth Reich is popping up in America, you may be a political schizophrenic. A perfect example of a public of political schizophrenics is in Nazi Germany. When all those people who got burned alive and vaporized and shot in the head and firing squatted and turned into Nazi furniture and other weird experimentations, those were all political schizophrenics, basically. That's what happens to political schizophrenics is they just disappear. They're black bagged. They're thrown in internment camps. They're, shot, by some patsy sniper, or just some weird random tragedy befalls them. You know what I'm saying? Like guys getting thrown from the 33rd floor, high level bankers. You know what I'm saying? Things like this. There's a movie called Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, and they basically, the CIA has a gun that they put you in a harness and they crank it and crank it and crank it, and eventually it pulls the gun to your own head and shoots yourself to make it look like you shot yourself. I mean, what sick, twisted bastard made that machine? But you better believe it. They probably have one. Uh, but if you believe that, you're probably a political schizophrenic, man. It's just, you better be afraid. You better lock up your daughters, lock up your wife, because the political schizophrenics are in your neighborhood. They're on the internet. They don't listen to mainstream media because they like to listen to the alternate media and the fringe alternate media. You know what I'm saying? And like to go and investigate for themselves because they're political schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? Because, to have critical thought and to commit thought crime, you're a political schizophrenic. You guys might as well just accept it, man. You might as well go get some fluoride, get your fluoride dosage adjusted so it's higher, so you have even less IQ to even contemplate these things. Because I mean, that's all that's wrong with the political schizophrenics is they can use their critical thought, and they can look at objectively at things, and they can judge things by their own understanding. You know what I'm saying? And they also have the capacity when another person drops some good, legit information on them, they can assimilate it into their data banks and utilize it in the future to call out more bullshit, false flaggery, red flaggery, political schizophrenic stuff. Like, basically a conspiracy theorist is a political schizophrenic. Someone who, like, basically saying, you got a tinfoil hat, don't you? That's probably another way of calling you a political schizophrenic. Someone who thinks that the system is just corrupt. You know what I'm saying? And it is still biased. It is still segregated. It's a big fraud. It's big masquerading. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is, especially now. There was a time when it was less. You know what I'm saying? But it's always been structured so that a certain group of people does stay in power. If you think that they told you all your life, you can be anything you want when you grow up. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got bloodline connection, you ain't going to be the prez. You know what I'm saying? Or even high level. You know what I'm saying? High level, whatever, managerial. The base that George Bush Jr. was talking about. Yeah, some call you the elite. I call you my base. You know what I'm saying? Because in other words, he's saying he's cozy with the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? And that is what political schizophrenics believe. Political schizophrenics like the truth a lot. You know what I'm saying? They don't care how crazy it sounds. But if it's factual, actual, you can track it, you can follow it up, you can back it up. You got reconfirmation, not even just confirmation, reconfirmation, reproof, prove it again. You know what I'm saying? And then see how things are related to one another. This is the condition of political schizophrenia. You know what I'm saying? Basically, any old person, that doesn't just stick their head in the sand and doesn't just enjoy their food rations and their victory cigarettes and their extra TV time, and you're political schizophrenic. If you don't watch the news at night, the mainstream news, you're political schizophrenic. If you don't believe those politicians on TV talking and all the stuff they say, you're political schizophrenic. If you don't think GMOs are good for you, you're political schizophrenic. If you don't think that kids should be vaccinated with cancer and autism shots, you're political schizophrenic. If you think people should have free speech, you're political schizophrenic. If you think people should have the right to bear arms, you're political schizophrenic. If you believe there should be separation of church and state, and we should have basically what we got going on now, you're political schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in posse comitatus, that means that you do not have soldiers, police, citizens. That means you're political schizophrenic. If you think there's a new world order coming, you're political schizophrenic. If you believe that the prophecies of Revelation and of Daniel and of Jesus, Matthew 24, is coming to pass, you're political schizophrenic. If you believe that there's a conspiracy by this Jesuit Black Pope Illuminati, Master Right, Agent Tour Illuminati, spoken of by Albert Pike, if you think this is real and it's really going on, and they're putting symbols in videos, rap videos, rock videos, in movies and magazines, and on little kids' school work, and on logos and signs and everywhere, you're political schizophrenic if you can read their code. You know what I'm saying? If you can see, like, if you can tell, that, they keep telling you the same lie over and over again, and you can call them on it, well, you're political schizophrenic. So, sorry to break it to you. Sorry to be the one who has to reveal to you your condition. You know what I'm saying? I feel so bad for you. You know what I'm saying? What happens to political schizophrenics? Political schizophrenics like, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. They get normally killed, man, for something they don't deserve. Or they're thrown in prison and their heads chopped off like Mr. John the Baptist. Or they're sawed in half. You know what I'm saying? Or they're thrown in fiery furnaces and fed to lions, and all these other evils. Because we can't have that political schizophrenia. Political schizophrenia is a contagious mental condition. You know what I'm saying? It's like germs. It's like thought germs. How thoughts, they're like seeds. And they grow into greater things or worse things. Depends what kind of seeds are planted there. But if you can bust out of the ideology that in the scientific mind control a little bit, and then recognize that you're under it, well, you're political schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? And God forbid you ever recognize that you are a political schizophrenic, and and what an effect it has on your psyche. You know what I'm saying? Seeing things for what they are, and seeing how far down the line we are. You know what I'm saying? How sad of a person that is that can see all that and knows what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And poor political schizophrenics. God bless them.